Welcome to Totally Awesome Fishing, where today I'm going to give you a little tip on something you've never heard of before, or a lot of you won't. Touch ledgering. Now ledgering generally is on the bottom with rod rests, some sort of bite indication system, could be electronic one or could be visual bobbins, but what about your fingers? How about using your fingers for sensitizing and feeling for a bite? And that's done like this, and it's called touch ledgering. And I'll tell you what, is it effective or what? Here's a couple of tips for you. So here we go for touch ledgering. You bait up with whatever, you make your cast out. You tighten up, but instead of putting this into a rod rest with a buzzer and a bobbin, you use your fingers, just here. As you got the fixed ball there, just run it across the ball of your finger here. That middle finger, run it across the ball of the finger. You tighten down like this, okay? And then you can feel either the lead bumping or weed or fish taking through these fingers. Now that's quite sensitive across here on that finger, but you've got to hold, you can't just have your fingers. I've seen people do it like this, just like that, like a trigger, just resting across here, but I like to cross it over and push back on it like this, try and pressurize it so it's going across, down at an angle, gives you a good pull. And you can bump and feel and also use your left hand, and I'll tell you why I like using the left hand as well. Right, I like to keep this knuckle here on the bail arm vertical, as it were, with the butt, and then I can put my finger here over the top. I can put my other finger here and put an angle in it across the ball of that finger and just hold it like this, and I can feel almost anything that is going to tug this way. It's so sensitive here, I can feel the bite, and that's called touch ledgering. But little tip here is, if you use your right hand and you're right-handed, the skin on this hand is going to be a little bit coarser and perhaps not quite so sensitive for the bites. If you're left-handed, the skin on the ball of these fingers is going to be a little bit softer. Now your thumb is always used a lot, index fingers are always used a lot for gripping. The soft ones are 1, 2, 3. The extra soft one, as sensitive, is your weak left hand, whichever. If you're right-handed, it's left, and if it's left, you're right. So I put this one in front of that as well, over the line at the same time. So I can feel this finger here, this one, over the top of the line as well. So I'm touch ledgering two ways. Once with the bite across here, and then again with the bite on this finger here, just resting it like that across the line. You can feel the lead bump, you can feel the bait bump, you can feel the gravel, you can feel weed, you can feel mud, you feel the fish bite. And of course you can strike really fast that way, because you haven't got to reach down and grab the rod like this off a rest. You're holding that rod already, so you just got to whip it up, strike, and you're in. So there it is, touch ledgering. Let's pop down the Dorset Stour and see if we can't winkle out a fish or two. 30 years ago, the Dorset Stour was managed by bailiffs who would control the growth of streamer weed and cut out fishable swims for the anglers. Sadly, now it's in decline, and the weed has now choked much of the riverbed. It may look pretty from above, but the health of some of our most famous rivers is now in question. Well, I've got one hooked up straight away, about fourth cast, only a small fish, on chub. I tried it with, oh, he's getting me in the weed. I tried it with free lining first, then I tried it with a single SSG. It's bumping through so fast, I put 2 SSG down, nailed it on the bottom, stuck it to the bottom, and here's the fish. Better not mess around too much, I've got to get it in. There we go. Okay, it's not the biggest fish in the world, but it's a start. First fish, I can live with that. Let's take a quick look at it. There we go. Yeah, nice little chublet. Pound it a bit, I suppose. but there's bigger ones out there. So I'm going to keep moving all the time with these roving tactics. And barbless hook, straight out, and he's virtually talking to me. Beautiful. Freelining is a technique few anglers use, but it can be really effective if you want to fish fast rivers. If you get the shot correct, you can feel that weight and bait bump right along the riverbed. And you can add shot to anchor the bait in one spot, or use just enough to keep it moving along the riverbed. That makes it look just like a free sample. And that's what many river species love, a bait on the move. The problem with many of our rivers is the lack of small side streams, or carriers as they're known. These provide perfect sanctuaries for the small fish of any species, including chub, and that enables them to grow up before they actually move out into the main river. Right, get yourself a piece of cheese. Obviously not that big, no. A piece of cheese, but a goodly sized piece of cheese, about that big. On the number 4 hook, minus that piece of weed, and I just leave a little speck of the point showing, but I squeeze it sort of flat. I'll show you. Just like that. And then a gentle lob out. Don't cast it too hard because it's soft, it will come off. And now what I do is I'm watching the bow of the line where it enters the water. I'm just keeping pace with it, turning the reel handle. I'm watching the bow of the line, but I'm running the line across these fingers, right across the ball of the fingers there. So I can feel any sensitive little taps there. Plus I've got the visual of the quiver tail up there. So when it goes round and it sort of goes what I call dead, it gets to the bottom end of the swim and it's not bumping, you can't feel that bump across over the gravel, it goes dead. Then I'm watching here on my fingers, but I can also glance up at the quiver tip, and I can, you know, I've got double whammy really. I've got 2 chances of getting a bite. And there's some small fish just upstream of where I'm fishing at the moment. I've seen them topping, they're not big chub, up to about 2 pounds I guess. I'm just rolling it through here and I'm going to give it a shot up there. Even now I've got this bad habit, well it's not a bad habit, it's a good habit, of putting that finger right across the front of the line so I can feel everything. It's so sensitive there, I can feel every little take. You're going to lose cheese almost every cast, especially when you're in weedy conditions, which I've got today. But where there's so much weed, at least I can feel this little swan shot link ledger. I can feel that bumping and trundling along the bottom. If you wear polarising glasses and a peak cap, it cuts down on that surface glare. And don't be afraid to cast upstream as well. Just keep in contact with the bait as it comes down towards you. Once you spot a fish or a good area, move in carefully and keep a low profile if you're fishing from a high bank. I don't believe fish can see colours, but they can certainly see the outline of an angler that maybe wasn't there before. And check out those overhanging bushes. They're a classic holding spot for barbel, chub and roach. The sensitivity of touch ledgering isn't just for big fish. You can bounce a small bait along the bottom and you'll still be able to feel that nibble. A fast strike and you could be into another fish. Dace, roach, bream, gudgeon, perch, you can catch them all just by holding that line across your fingertips. And if you just keep on moving, sooner or later you're going to strike lucky. I've got one on. I'll put 2 extra shot on. And, Christ, there's a good fish off the back line, this one. He's right, coming up the way. You see where he's right where that weed drops back. He's over the back somewhere. I'm not even sure, it might be a small barbel. Seems like a good fish. Oh, got me out of breath. I was just dozing off in the warm summer sunshine when I just got dun. You've got to hit him, haven't you? Every one. It's not a bad fish, this one. Oh, he's got me in the... Oh, bloody hell, it's a huge chub. It's a huge... This is a big chub. Net, net, net. Oh, God. I just realised I'm parked myself in a swim that's about 7 or 8 feet above the water. There's the fish. Come on. Oh, this is a big chub, girls. Right, net time. I don't know what to do. I've got nowhere to go. I'm going to have to go down there. I'm going down below. I may be sometime. If I don't show up by about December 2015, send out for the AA. This is good chub. Stinging necklace, lovely. Kill. Wish me luck, ladies. Oh, I told you it was a big fish. This is an absolute, totally awesome animal. This is the chub of the season for me. Just look at that fish. I haven't brought my scales, I'm travelling so light, and I'm telling you what, 1, 2, 3 ladies, tell me how big this is. That is, I reckon, close to 6 pounds. That is an animal chub. And I'll tell you what, it's my biggest of the season. So lucky. I've struggled and struggled and struggled, but I knew if I just tough it out, you know, in these conditions, and I just saw the quiver tip go round, just a smidgen. What a beautiful fish. What a cracker.